Throughout the next 20 minutes, I want you to be very patient with yourself and remain in your boundaries. Now, what I'm showing you here is if your pain is on the right side, you're going to shift over to the left. And if your pain is on the left side, you're going to shift over to your right. So I'm going to be demonstrating as if you had frozen shoulder to the right. So you're going to lean on your affected side. And again, do all this in a pain-free range of motion. And you're just going to shift your weight over. So you're not putting your 100% weight. You're just leaning to engage the tissues, to start to work the capsule of the joint, which, by the way, is what is inflamed. And that is what has caused that decreased range of motion and the pain that comes with it. So basically, your capsule that surrounds the shoulder joint is almost plastic right now. It's not really giving you a lot of give. So you just want to be very patient with yourself and try to work it and warm it up essentially. So now you're going to turn your hand out to the side and you're going to lean. So what we're going to be doing is we're slowly going to be opening up that joint as we're warming up the tissues, the ligaments, and the muscles, and calling the blood to the area to get oxygen in the area. As long as you have oxygen, that creates an environment to promote healing. Ideally, if I had you in my clinic, I'd be putting you on the laser to speed up that inflammation process. But since you are not in my clinic right now and you're watching my video, this will do to substitute. Now I'll finish off with this one, 2 more here. And now we're going to switch to the back. Now we're really starting to open up the joint. Now if this is starting to get a little bit too much for you, instead of completely turning back your fingers facing the back, you can just turn them on a 45-degree angle or stay with your fingers pointed right out to the side and continue to do the movement as you slowly begin to warm up the joint more and more. We just have 3 more here, so keep breathing nice and deep. Take a deep breath in as you're leaning over and exhale. Again, deep breath, really try to lean in. Let your shoulder come to your ear if it feels good and you can get that range of motion. And now you're going to reach underneath your seat or your bench, whatever you're sitting on, and try to lean right over. Now I'm going to show you what the feeling is. So see how I'm essentially tractioning my finger and you're seeing that little bit of a dent? That is what you want to imagine. Your shoulder and your arm is gently separating so you can get what's called a traction. Tractioning any joint is very therapeutic. It's great to help pump out any inflammation, so to speak. It's called pumpage, and that's a very good way for you to do it naturally. Again, there should be no pain with this. It should be done in a very comfortable range of motion. Now we're just going to do 2 more. Make sure you really feel a comfortable stretch and imagine that arm slightly tractioning from that shoulder joint. Now we're going to reposition ourselves back into the center here. You're going to open up and turn and flip your hands. Now I'm going to show you very slow. Open up, thumbs back, and you're going to flip the hands so the thumbs are still pointing back. So now I'm going to go really slow here. I slowed it down here for you. Open up, thumbs point back, turn your thumbs inward so your thumbs are pointing back as you crouch forward. And rotating your hands outwards, open everything up, and rotate your arms inwards, palms still facing outwards. And just keep repeating this. You're free to arch your back here to help get more range of motion of your shoulder blades and your humeral bone over top of your part of your shoulder blade. Now go a little bit faster here now that you're more comfortable with the movement. If this is too much of a range for you, Just decrease the range of motion. Only do what you can do. At this point, it will get better and it will pass. So now you're going to do the opposite. Your palms are facing out, thumbs back. And now you're going to try to get your thumbs back as your arms are inwards. So you're turning your arms outwards as you're rotating and bending forward, and rotating your arms inwards as you're extending back with your upper back. Rotate them out, your arms, and rotate them back in. Focus on the arm movement. You're rotating your arm out and rotating your arm inward towards yourself. Rotate out, then forward, and rotate inwards and extend up. Keep repeating that. Again, only work in the range you can. So we'll reset a little bit here. Again, I want you to reach here. I want you to get that distraction right away. Now you're going to side bend your head a little bit, tuck your chin gently towards your chest, and then gently look up towards the ceiling. Gently tuck towards your chest and recover. And we're going to do that a few more times. So extend, imagine that joint tractioning, side bend your neck, tuck your chin towards your chest, slightly look up towards the ceiling, neutral, and recover. Side bend, imagining that shoulder distracting a little bit, side bend the neck as much as you can comfortably, tuck the chin, look up towards the ceiling, and recover. So now that you had the movement with rotating the arms inwards, as you're rotating forward, you're actually going to move your shoulders around in a circle. So not just forward and back, you're going to move it in a circle. So when it goes inwards, rotate your arms in, and when you're rotating it back, rotate your arms out backwards. And just keep repeating that. Do it as best you can. Our goal here is just to get movement into the joints. And now just simple forward and back. Closing your shoulder blades back and then straight forward. Open everything up, including your arms. Rotate them inwards and tuck. Open everything up and close. And keep breathing. Doing a good job. Work in a range that is best for you. So I'm going to do very small little arm circles. Now, if my arms are too high compared to what you can do on one side, then just lower them. At one point, I will make a thumbs up. Okay, I'm doing it now. And I want you to rotate the circles forward. So if your thumbs are pointing forwards, you're going to do the circles forwards. Keep doing little controlled circles as big as you can. Now we're going to rotate backwards. So point your thumbs back and make small arm circles back. Breathe through it. As best you can, get the range. Now we're really calling the blood flow here. Now your elbows right by your side. Try to glue them to your side. You're going to squeeze your side as much as you can. And relax and lift as much as you can. And squeeze your side as much as you can. Really squeeze, 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 squeeze. And release and relax and lift up as much as you can. Squeeze again. Every time, imagine you're able to squeeze a little bit more and get a little bit more range of motion. And when you relax and you lift your arms out to the side, you're getting a millimeter more. This is about millimeters that add up over time. Again, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze here. And lift. And squeeze. and lift. Again, squeeze, and you're going to touch your arms together. So you're still squeezing your elbows by your side, but you're touching your fingers together, so you're getting a little bit more of an inward rotation. It's a bit of a different range, so try your best here. If that's not enough range of motion for you, you can cross one hand over the other. I'll show you that here, so you can get even more of a range. Cross the other. But if that's too challenging for you, then just keep the motion and the range of motion where you were just touching your fingers together. So now open everything up as much as you can. So elbows right by your side, try to glue them and try to open things up. Get all in a comfortable, pain-free range of motion as best you can. And imagine your shoulder joint turning more and more into jello instead of the plastic type of consistency that it is right now. Imagine it softening, releasing, becoming more elastic with every single movement that you are doing. So now in that range, you're just going to keep the range that you can and extend your elbows and then bend and squeeze them back towards your sides. And extend it out and squeeze back towards your sides. So this is a very quick and minute movement. Again, just to get the fibers of the capsule and the ligaments in a different line of pull, in a different range of motion. Breathe through it, in through your nose and out. If at any point your arm is burning, just pause the video and take a break. So now, the arm that's affected, you're going to cross that over. So I'm going to show you a few different variations here. So you can do it both legs or one leg, or keep your legs together for an intermediate level. So this one is going to be one of the easier ones. That means it's not as much range of motion, or you can also put your legs together to give it a little bit, not as much of an advantage. I will continue doing this. So just lean forward, hinge forward at the hips, lean forward as much as you can comfortably. This is a process, this is not a race. You will regain your range of motion. You just have to be patient with yourself. And again, lean forward just as much as you can comfortably. Now, shoulder towards your ear and press it down. So in this range, again, you're going to be working the muscles and the fibers and the ligaments and the capsule on different ranges of motion. Shoulder towards your ear and press down towards your ear and press down. Again, towards your ear and down, up and down. Now slowly, slowly recover. Don't be quick with these movements when you're recovering because it may be a little bit sore. And just to kind of warm it up as best you can, we're going to do the forward rotating inward and outward movements again. So really make sure we're working the muscles. The muscles aren't forgetting what they can do for your shoulder, because oftentimes with frozen shoulder, the muscles kind of forget. They start to atrophy. So we want to limit that from happening. And just reverse the process. Keep breathing. And think to yourself, this gets easier and easier with every movement.
going to move on. And so if this is too much to bring your hands to the chair, you will not be doing this one, which is moving your hands to your hips, because it's going to move it up a little bit more. But if this is okay, continue this. And you're going to be squeezing your elbows forward and backwards, trying to imagine touching your elbows forward in front of you and then forward behind you. If on the chair you are even having a difficult time with this, then just leave your hands hanging by your side and squeeze your shoulders together in the front and squeeze your shoulder blades together in the back. So mirror my movements as best you can. So really glide and really utilize anything on your pants or your hips that you can use as a ledge to help support your arm. So you're really just focusing more so on the movement and the range of motion as opposed to strengthening your muscles. Good, so now we're going to reach the affected arm to the knee and straighten it forward. And to get more range of motion, you're going to bend forward, hinging forward at the hips. Okay, and lean forward, so really just glide. Let the whole weight of your arm just rest on your leg, and your body is doing the movement, which is causing that increased range of motion at the affected shoulder. So here's another range here. Yeah, so completely rest your arm on your knee. Let the rest of your body do the work. Now, if I'm leaning too forward for you here, just only lean 25% of the way or 10% of the way. Any movement that you can do is good. Even if crawling your arm forward towards your knee, if that's even too much, then just place it on your thigh and do a little bit of movement there. Modify this to what you can do. Now, shoulder towards your ear and down. So the range that you can handle the most, you're going to hold that and then move your shoulder blade up and down. Good, again, up towards your ear and down. And you're going to slowly recover and place your arm back to the side. Now you're going to try to reach around to the back. If that was too hard, you're going to shift your body back so that it's not too much of an extension. And then you're going to follow through with bending up and back with your back to help, again, using your body to get the range of motion. If that's not enough, shove a little bit more forward and repeat the process until you get the optimal stretch that is most comfortable for you. I'm going to go forward a little bit more here, so I really got to stretch. Really extend up and back. So this is the last range of motion that will complete all the ranges of motion of the shoulder. Extending back, breathing here, and really bending back. And I walk forward a little bit more, but again, if that's too much for you, just stay where you were. And tuck forward. And feel the stretch there on the front top of your shoulder. You're doing great. Your shoulder joints and capsule and ligaments and muscles in the area are becoming more and more elastic. And really take your time here. Again, there should be no burning sensation in your arm. If there is, just relax, pause the video, take a break, drink some water, and then pick up where you left off. Now you're going to slowly bring your arm back. Shake it out a little bit if you need to. Breathe through it. You don't have to shake in this motion. You can rotate your body and just let them hang and rotate. And now what I want you to do here, if you do have any pain or burning, just sit there, inhale and exhale until that goes away. I want to thank you very much for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe.